And we're back for another episode. In this episode I'm going to be continuing the 2.2 main scenario. So we had just recovered the supplies for the caravan man, so we can now help the Domans get to their new home in Revenant's Toll. So I'm now back with Alphanode at the older Adventurers Guild called the Quicksand. So let's see what we have to do. So the quest is called a small scale operation. So it says Alphanode has a mind to send you to Vesper Bay. As we speak, the Domans are being, sorry, I clicked that too quickly, sent to Vesper Bay. Alas, while our plans have proceeded relatively smoothly until now, efforts to coordinate the refugees' preparations have met with less success. Mithrie, I would have you return to Vesper Bay and facilitate the process through tasks great and small. In short, whatever must needs be done, do it. Speak with Hosan when you arrive. He has been designated the leader of the first group. Okay, so we're going to quickly now teleport to Horizon and then run to Vesper Bay to talk to Hosan. Now, one thing to know about the main scenario quest line is that it cannot be abandoned when you're doing it. So for example, if I open up the quest log, you see here, you can only have the map button telling you where to go. You can't possibly abandon it. Whereas other quests, you can abandon them and take them up later. But the main scenario is sort of protected, so you'll never lose your way in what you're doing, because simply it's always going to be there until you've done it. So feel rest assured that if you have accepted the main scenario quest, it will be in your log. If you haven't accepted it, it simply just won't be there. Simple as that. So, okay, so you can see that they're getting the convoy ready to take the citizens towards Mordona. So here's Hosan. So he says, greetings, Alphanode informed me that a scion would be arriving to help with the preparations. I am honoured to meet you, though shamed as well. Now, a great warrior should not be tasked with such trivialities. I knew from a glance what manner of woman you were. I too have some skill at arms, as do many of our people. Little good it does us when our enemies are the elements and starvation. An act so simple as carrying a heavy crate is beyond the capabilities of our healthiest men, believe it or not. Pray forgive this trifle, but would you bring to me the aforementioned crate on the docks? There is no one else to whom I can turn. Okay. I'm gonna go pick up some more supplies to load it on the caravan. So, is this a crate I spy in your arms? Pray give it to me quickly, the contents are dear. So let's hand it over. It says within its wooden confines you can feel something heavy shifting. Herc, I thought my strength somewhat restored, but that clearly is not the case. By the gods, the armour, how could this have happened? 'Twas bestowed upon my father for feats of valour, every scale forged by a master smith, guaranteed to withstand the test of time, or so we thought. The armour must have shifted within its confine during the long sea voyage. Many scales have come loose, and there are holes in the bottom of the crate, through which the 4 missing scales I count must have fallen. It can be repaired in time, but only if we recover those scales. Please, madam, retrace your steps and collect any scales you come across. So we're looking for these black scales which are on the floor. So after this one we just need one more, which I guess will be between here and him. There it is. So now he says, I know not how I can face my father should those scales be forever lost. So I'm going to hand over the black scales. It says blackened metal scale from a suit of mail. Bless you, madam, I am in your debt. All that remains of Doma now are our mementos and memories. I can only hope that when such keepsakes are lost to us, those memories will be enough. Okay, so let's accept now the next quest. So the quest is called Yugiri's Game. So it says Hosen has another favor to ask of you. So while you were seeing to the crate, the other members of my group finished preparing their belongings for shipment. Once all of the carriages arrive, we can begin loading. Oh, but you needn't concern yourself with that. We can manage with the coachmen's help. Rather, I would like you to help round up the children that have been given into my care. My son Yozen can tell you more. Okay, so let's talk to Yozen now. So, oh hello there, I'm Yozen, son of Hosen. Will you be coming with us to Ulda? I hear we're travelling by horsebird drawn carriage. But don't you think they're queer? Giant birds that people ride like horses? I still want to try riding one, but what's that? You're looking for the others? Don't worry, I already told them to get ready for the carriages. I'll need your help though. We're just finishing a game of hide and seek. 3 players are still hiding, and since Lady Yugiri told us to take it really seriously, they won't move until they've found. But Vesper Bay isn't that big, so I bet you can find them in no time. Okay, so let's go see if we can find where these people are hiding. Okay, that's one. It says, I am Kohuru, Mithrie Manifilme. I didn't know anyone else was. Wait a minute, you're one of those stallions, aren't you? No, scions. Then you must know Lady Yugiri, right? Isn't she great? She's really good at hide and seek too. Oh right, it's almost time to go. Nice meeting you, Mithrie Manifil. Okay, so that's one. So let's look now for the other 2. Okay, so not back there, so let's keep looking. Okay, so checked everywhere outside, so let's start checking in these buildings. Okay, there's one. So it says, how do you find me? Bah, I guess I need to practice more. Or maybe you're just good at this. I mean, the Guardians didn't find me. Okay, so let's keep looking. Still looking for this hiding child. Okay. Where is this third one? There they are. So it says, are you playing? Ah, no fair. Yozen didn't say anything about adults. We get to ride a horsebird carriage? I don't know. It sounds scary, but if Yozen says it's safe, I'll go. Let's go back and talk now to Hosen. So, wonderful, all the children are accounted. Hide and seek. I see that you are curious. It's quite simple, really. Lady Yugiri thought it best that the children know what to do in case the Guardians found us. I should hope that those days are behind us, but I nevertheless take comfort in knowing that we are prepared. Okay, so the next quest is called If Wishes Were Horsebirds. And it says, Hosen requires your assistance with another personal matter. So it says, all of the carriages have arrived, but my father, stubborn to the last, he is refusing to leave. 'Tis the smell of the chocobos. Many of us find it difficult to bear, but he cannot abide it. To be honest, I find it odd that I've yet to meet an Eorzean who shares our sentiments, other than the waitress at the Paisty. Mayhap she has a means to address the smell. Might you go and see what she knows? So she says, the Dolmens are sickened by how chocobos smell. I know just how they feel. Carriage rides make me more queasy than boat rides because of that alone. Why not try using this perfume to mask the smell? I cannot promise it will help, though. I swore off carriages ages ago. Too much vomiting. Okay, so let's try this. So I'm going to try this peach blossom perfume. So it says, what in the seventh hells are you doing to me birds? Dousing them with God knows what alchemical concoctions? That ain't right. There's a lot of people running by. They're skittish creatures at heart. Get them riled up and they're liable to go every which way but the one you want. Explain yourself. Well, what's done is done. Reckon you'd best make sure it did the trick afore you call the old man over. Get in there and take a good long whiff. Don't be shy now. So, looks like some veil of foul watered cover up a chocobo's musk. Bless your heart, miss. You're going about this the wrong way. Rather than pouring perfume on everything what offends your olfactory senses, just do it like the gobbies do. You don't keen me meaning, or you ain't never traded tongue flaps with a gobby trader? I'm talking about their masks, miss. Gobbies don't care much for the air around these parts, hence why they wear contraptions. They pack them with herbs and whatnot. Here, take this scarf, splash a few drops of their perfume on it, and tell the old man to tie it around his face like so. Of course, you'd better hope he doesn't hate the perfume too. Okay, so let's try that instead. Hosen says, try as I might, I cannot convince my father to board the carriage. Have you any ideas how we might deal with the chocobo smell? So here we go, a peach-scented scarf. It says, for the discerning bandit or the sensitive doman, this scarf can be used to filter unpleasant odors. So it says, of course, why did I not think of that? Such a simple, elegant solution. We should take this to my father at once. Okay, so let's see. I guess we're almost ready to go now to Mordona. So it was a happy coincidence that Falkland's perfume was made from peach blossoms. First my father scoffed, but one sniff was enough to put his mind at ease. Oh, if only you could have seen our orchids, so vast, so vibrant. Foreign merchants clamoured for our fruits, so great was our reputation. It is past time that we move on, the carriages are waiting. Okay, so let's do it. So the next quest is called Why We Adventure. So it says, at long last, Hosen and his group are ready to leave Vesper Bay. So it says, the first caravan is due to depart shortly, followed by the rest at regular intervals. My family and I will be travelling in the lead carriage along with young Kaharu, who I believe you've already met. Though I understand the road to Aldar is regularly patrolled by your brass blades, it will give us great comfort if you would agree to accompany us on our journey. Once again, I thank you for your kindness. When you're ready to leave, please inform our coachman. Okay, so let's now talk to the coachman so we can get the convoy on the way. So, eager to be off, are you? Aye, well, I was meaning to have a word with you about that. Runner from the Blaze says we might have a problem. A fierce-looking beasties have been sighted south of the bridge to Hammerlea. Might be someone's eyes are playing tricks on them, of course, but it don't pay to gamble in this business. I know you can handle yourself in a fight, but this lot here's another story. So I was thinking you might go on ahead and have a quick look around, make sure that area's safe, and if you come across anything dangerous, you know what to do. When you're satisfied the way's clear, meet us outside Horizon. The Blaze tell me the road there's safe, so I reckon we can make it that far on our own, assuming the self-same bastards don't try to rob us, that is. Okay, so we're gonna check the road to Aldar to see if it's safe or not. So I'm gonna quickly just teleport to Horizon and then run south. I mean, this is just a journey from Vesper Bay to Aldar. I mean, imagine the journey from Aldar all the way to Mordona. Almost there. So obviously these glowing destinations are where fights are going to take place. Okay, so let's now check outside Horizon to allow the coachman to move forward. Okay, so it's a coachman. So he says, so there was a beastie. Was being the operative word? Huh. So it's well fought, madam, well fought. If only I were better in health. I should have been proud to stand at your side. Pay my soul no mind. He forgets that his responsibilities preclude acts of daring do. But that as it may, I cannot help but envy you. Had we been able to call upon heroes of your strength and skill in Doma, things would have been very different. But we cannot repeat the past. Those who fought and fell are forever lost to us. Lost but not forgotten. Lady Yugiri's kinsmen least of all. They fought fiercest, though they knew full well it was in vain. She had every right to walk away, yet she chose to stay. Food, shelter, the promise of a better life, all this and more we owe to her. How does one even begin to repay such a debt? In kind, Father, to she who has given everything, we shall give our all. Whatever work there is to be done, we shall do without question. Ditch digging, bricklaying, it matters not. Revenant's toll will grow and prosper by our hands. That's kind of funny. So it says, hey, Miss Mithrie, Koharu and I want to know why you became an adventurer. Oh, yeah. Let's see. To gain power, I think I selected honor. I knew it, that's what I told Koharu, but she didn't believe me. It's my turn now. Excuse me, Miss Menifil. I've got a question. What's Revenant's Toll like? Is it pretty? So let's see. It's a bustling outpost frequented by countless adventurers. It is a bastion of civilization in a harsh and unforgiving wilderness. It is home to the science of the Seventh Dawn. It is a stone's throw from an imperial castrum. Because I obviously don't want to say that. So let's say the first one. You mean there's lots of people there who are just as strong as you? Oh, I can't wait. Enough, Koharu. It's my turn again. Miss Mithrie, when I'm older, I want to be strong like you. What do I have to do? So it says, seek out new experience and adventures, fight ferocious beasts, train every day, buy weapons and armor from Rowena. I'm going to do this one, train every day. Aha, so my father was right. How do you do it then? Come on, tell me, and don't leave anything out. Alright, that's enough questions for Mithrie. That's not fair. Why does Yozen get to ask 2 questions? I want to know about adventuring just as much as he does. Just one more, please. Do you think I could be an adventurer like you one day? Really? Then I will. Thanks for the advice, Miss Mithrie. I won't forget it. I'm going to be an adventurer too. When we get to Revenant's Toll, let's make an adventurers guild for Domans. We'll protect our friends and punish the wicked, just like Miss Mithrie and Lady Yugiri. Yeah, just like Miss Mithrie and Lady Yugiri, okay. We can talk more about it in the carriage on the way. Will you be joining us? So that's the first coach ride since the start of the game. Okay, so we're gonna now talk to Alpha Nodes at the Quicksand to basically say that we were able to get people back to Uldar at least before we take them off to Revenant's Toll. So they changed that as a patch 2.1 that you don't need to dismount anymore. You can just run straight into the line and you dismount automatically to zone into the town. So just running to the A-Fright and then quickly teleport to Quicksand. For people on PlayStation 3, it might be quicker to just sprint the whole way because of loading times, but for me, because I have a solid state hard drive, zoning and teleporting is extremely fast. There you go, 3 seconds. Okay, here's Alpha Node. So it says, Mithrie, I take it the first group has arrived. Excellent. Is there all else? No, I have matters well in hand here. You and Lady Yugiri should travel to Revenant's Toll forthwith. Okay. So let's now talk to Alpha Node again. So the next quest is called All Due Respect. It says, Alpha Node would have you and Yugiri depart for Revenant's Toll without delay. So it says, it's past time Lady Yugiri met with the guild representatives in Revenant's Toll. Since I don't foresee any further matters arising here in Fanalan, which might require your personal attention, I would instead have you serve as an escort to the Doman delegation for the duration of the journey. Speak first with Slathborn upon your arrival. He is the one with whom the Domans will be working most closely, I should think. Afterwards, introduce Lady Yugiri to Mithrie and the guild emissary. If both meetings go well, the resulting ties should stand the Domans in good stead, for that is which to come. Safe travels, Mithrie. So we're going to speak to now Southbourne in Revenant's Toll. So I'm going to quickly teleport there. Seems more than one person is on the same part of the quest as me. Okay, here's Slathborn. So, and this must be the esteemed Lady Yugiri and her associates. I greet you all as friends and bid you welcome to the Toll. I hope you do not find our dearth of fineries off-putting. Poor though we may seem, we have wealth of spirit and camaraderie to spare. You see, race and creed don't enter into it here. We welcome all sorts, provided they are willing to earn their keep, of course. We are no strangers to hard work, Master Slathborn. You may rest assured that we will carry out our orders with due diligence. Not for a moment did I doubt your commitment, my lady. Pray understand, I give the same speech to all new arrivals, and you needn't bow your head or call me master either. We are both frontier hands as far as I'm concerned. As you wish, Slathborn. May this meeting mark the beginning of a long and fruitful relationship. Our guests have yet to meet the antecedent. Seven Hells, Mithrie, why are you wasting time with me? See them to the Rising Stones. So the Rising Stone is the name of their camp in Revenant's Toll, which is the Revenant's Toll camp compared to Waking Sands and Vesper Bay. So Yugiri says, to whom much is given, much is expected. Forgive me, I require a moment to compose my thoughts before meeting your leader. We shall join you at the Rising Stones anon. Okay. So we're going to talk now to Mithrie and the Rising Stones. The Rising Stones is unlocked by finishing the 2.1, or almost finishing the 2.1 story main scenario, and then you finish off your 2.1 story here. And you have to finish all of the 2.1 story before you can even start the 2.2 story, because it carries on one after the other. Okay, here's Mithrie. So it's no use. Our attempts to reach the students of Baldician continue to meet with failure. Urianga has explored other avenues of inquiry, but they too have yielded naught. We will persevere, of course, yet within our hearts the truth is clear. We are but awaiting confirmation of that which we already know. How fare the Domans? I am given to understand you were kept quite busy in Vesper Bay. Mayhap you question the wisdom of aiding refugees when the primal threat remains unresolved. I should not blame you if you did, nor would I deny that this matter falls outside their normal purview. Be that as it may, I could not ignore the plight of these refugees, not when it was within our power to help them. Lady Yugiri is here. Please show her in. I should very much like to meet her. So, we have no objections. Pray do so with our blessing. Your answer pleases me beyond words, my lady, but are you quite certain? We have no way of knowing how many might answer my summons. In the event that Revenant's toll could not accommodate us all, we would need to find an alternative solution. Should that come to pass, we will find it together. As ever, it has been a pleasure, Antecedent. Alas, we must make our leave, as the first carriages are due to arrive at any moment. Should you require aught less, pray speak with Slathborn, Lady Yugiri, Mithrie. Okay, so let's complete that quest. Okay, so now let's talk to Mithrie. So the next quest is called Full Belly Happy Heart. So it says apply the refugees weighs heavily on Mithrie's mind. So I pray the Doma's journey has been uneventful, that they have endured too much hardship and for far too long. Forgive me, there was another matter I wish to discuss. My mother was to see it that the Domans received a welcome supper. Now that the first group is nearly here, would you go and see if she is in need of assistance? Okay, so we're going to quickly check if there's enough food ready for the Domans when they arrive. Hello again, Mithrie. To what do I owe the pleasure? Ever the warrior, my Asilia. The seventh heaven should have the meals ready by now, though I believe they have yet to be delivered. Would you mind speaking with ales to be sure? Oh, and take this wine with you. The adults will appreciate it. Okay, so we're taking the wine to the people making the food. Okay, so we just need to exit the Rising Stones and talk to the people just outside it. So what will it be? Wine or something stronger? How very kind of you to volunteer your help. Here, take these meals to the emissary's assistant outside the northern gates. She'll handle the distribution. Alright, we have to actually pick up the meals before we go. So the whole reason why I'm doing all these new quests is just keep things up to date, discover as much of the new world as possible, but also because we need to do it to unlock Leviathan. So there we go. So it says, as you can see, the Domans but recently arrived. I was assured we could have food and drink by now, but we've yet to receive aught from the seventh heaven. So let's hand over the Lomani Rosso. It says, either Shamani Loman's wine is getting recognition, or Phil Min has a soft spot for the blind Vinter. And then it says a seventh heaven special. So it said slow roasted eft and grilled vegetables in a wine reduction, a popular dish amongst the frontier hands of Revenant's Toll. So it says, excellent, many thanks, Mithrie. While they had rations to sate their hunger during the journey, there is no substitute for a freshly cooked meal. I must say, I was not expecting you of all people to deliver these. Far be it from me to question your organization's delegation of duties, but surely there are other tasks better suited to your talents. Though, on further consideration, I should probably consider this a blessing. We've a situation which would benefit from your personal attention. Okay. I'll take some deviled eggs, because I actually use those. So the next quest is called Writhing in the Dark. So it says, the Adventurers Guild assistant is concerned about an outbreak of local fauna. So it says, mayhap you have already heard, but the lake cobras that inhabit the area along the road to St. Connet's Find have multiplied to plague-like proportions of late. This wasn't a concern for us in the past, as only proven adventurers tend to gather in Revenant's Toll. However, with the recent arrival of the Doman refugees, among which are elderly and the young both, suffice to say it would not do for our newly arrived guests to fall prey to the local fauna. For their sake, would you be so kind as to rid us of these rampant cobras? The creatures have made nests among the broken pieces of Imperial airship. You can use these slices of rancid meat to lure them out. Okay, so let's go deal with the cobras. So these 3 camps. So you can see how Revenant's Toll is growing as well, so eventually this might just turn into a city itself if it keeps expanding. So it's going to be an interesting journey to see how Revenant's Toll changes, because when the game first launched in 2.0 Realm Reborn, it was literally just some random camp with an Aephorite and 2 tents, whereas now it's growing and growing and growing. Okay, so there's a cobra's nest. Okay, so that's one done. So I know that there's another camp here because this red circle still exists. Should all of the camps have been done, then the red circle will disappear and I know I can move on. So we see if there's always a quest marker on the ground, then assume that there's still things to find there. So you see, because that red circle disappeared, I know that it's now done with, so I can move on to the next area. Okay, there's one. Okay, there's the second one. So, 3 more to go. So, once this one's done, 2 more at the third camp. You can see the first one's right there. Where's the other one? Over there. Okay. One more. So now we need to go back to the Adventurers Guild Assistant. Very short run to get back to Revenant's Toll. So, one thing you can do when doing the main scenario quest is check on the patch 2.2 notes, which I've linked in the description, like which quests are remaining. So I can see on the list that after this quest I've got 8 remaining, and then I would have finished the 2.2 main scenario. But at the rate we're getting through them, it should take probably at most a couple more hours. So here is the assistant. So she says, so the culling is done, thank you. You have done us all a great service. While you were afield tending to that business, I saw that the Domans were fed. They are weary from their long journey, and the memory of their lost homeland is heavy in their hearts. Yet I dare say I sensed a glimmer of hope in their being. In time they may yet regain a semblance of inner peace. Oh, I thought I'd mentioned that something seemed to be afoot over the rising stones. Lest you be absent from the matter of import, it may be well to report back. Okay, so let's talk again to Mithrie.
How goes the fishing? Caught anything slippery?
Aye. Our suspicions were well founded. The Serpent Reavers are indeed the culprits.
The plot thickens.
Has there been any movement in Thanalan?
It has been blessedly quiet, which is to say the Amalja are being no more or less of a nuisance than usual, summoning Ifrit with such crystals as they have hoarded. Urianger, too, reports not out of the ordinary.
Then we have our explanation.
Your explanation for what, pray tell?
For the recent spate of crystal thefts in Thanalan, we naturally assumed that the trail would lead us back to the Amalja. Yet it did not. It led us across the sea unto Vilbrand.
Vilbrand? There have been reports of increased Sahagin activity of late. Oh gods, they mean to summon Leviathan?
That is the way of it, I fear. Whilst conducting our investigation on behalf of the mineral concern, we came upon evidence implicating the Serpent Reavers. With the aid of the Maelstrom, I was able to verify our suspicions. 'Tis only a matter of time before Leviathan returns to harrow the seas. But there is more. One of the Sahagin, an elder by my judgment, spoke of attaining the gift and knowledge of eternity.
Ugh.
Such a disturbance in the ether. If I did not know better, I should think this device defective. And there is the explanation.
Soon it shall begin. Our Lord shall rise midst surging waves to wash away the finless one. And I shall be granted the gift and knowledge of eternity, and with the emissary stand equal. Then shall I know no cessation, no oblivion.
Whence comes this promise of immortality? The emissary? We have outstayed our welcome.
The gift and knowledge.
Are the two of you quite well?
You shared that vision, did you not? Even before the Sahagin made mention of the emissary, I recognized Elidibus's words. He is behind this. But surely it is not within his power to grant the echo.
My lady, unless we act swiftly, Leviathan will rise again. The Admiral has already requested that we intervene to prevent this. Failing that, we are to attend to the Primal's extermination.
She will have our full cooperation. Let us make haste to Limsa Lominsa. I mean to play a part in this mission. Tataru, pray, take charge in my absence.
My lady, are you sure this is wise?
I am aware of the risks, but there is something I must see with mine own eyes. The true nature of the echo.
Very well. I shall not stand in your way. On the condition that you permit me to accompany you as bodyguard.
Your company is ever welcome, Thancred.
I take it something ill is afoot.
Aye, a Primal is about to be loosed upon Eorzea.
A primal?
A godlike being whose very existence is a bane upon the land. We scions of the Seventh Dawn are sworn to put an end to their kind.
I see. Know then that I am learned in the arts of war. In return for the kindness you have shown my people, I would lend you my blade.
It would be most welcome. When contending with a primal, one can never have too many able allies. If you crave a more intimate understanding of the problems facing Eorzea, this experience is like to provide it. Be sure to come well prepared.
Okay, so let's complete the quest, Writhing in the Dark. So, I guess I'm gonna stop it there for now, and yeah, so that's it for part 2 of the 2.2 main scenario story. Thank you for watching, and as always, goodbye from me, goodbye from Mithrie.